So hi guys, welcome back again to the channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching us how we can go about the sewing of our previous video, which is a bubble gown with an underbust corset. Okay, so guys, if this sounds like something you want to know, kindly please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Encourage me by doing this so that I can able to do more of this and share a lot of information to you people. So guys, without further ado, let's dive right into the main video. So guys, to start with, we are going to be working with our skirt part first, which is the bubble skirt. Okay, so I will cut this part our skirt. So to cut this bubble skirt, we have two methods in cutting it. We can cut it in a straight form. Like what I mean by a straight form is when you are cutting it in form of a pleating, sorry. But and you can also cut it in form of a flea, like 360-degree flea. But actually, I have a little bit fabric here with me, so I have to work with the method I know is going to be okay with me with this small fabric I'm having. Okay, I actually went about 2 trousers of this fabric. Then I'm going to be using the process of the pleating method. Okay, so guys, now the next thing we are going to do now is to start sewing the skirt part. And to sew the skirt part, I told us here that I'm going to be using the pleating method for this. So when you want to cut this pleating part for the down part, please make sure you are cutting, if you have a very excess fabric, you can cut times 4 of your waistline, please, of your waist circumference. You can cut times 4 of it. Or if you are less of, if you have, or you can use 3 times 3 of your waist measurements. Or if you have a very small fabric, you can use times 2. Please, you can only use from the range of times 2, times 3, and times 4, depending on how full you want it to be. So I'm going to be using the range of times 3 of my waist circumference. So I have my waist circumference to be 32. So I'm using 32 for this part. I measure and I times 32 times 2. So whatever I get, I use it to cut out this piece of fabric. So then I don't have any joining at this particular stripe, so I'll cut this stripe here. I'll cut this stripe. Please, when you want to cut this pleating form, you have to minus your waist line to the full length of your short gown, or be it long gown, depending on what you want it to be. Okay, I hope I'm making a point here. If you're working with a short gown of 40 inches, and you're working with your waist line to be 16 inches, like your waist measurement is 16 inches, definitely you should know you're going to minus 16 minus 40 inches. So whatever you get there, you're going to add extra 5 inches to it. Okay, you're going to add extra 5 inches to it. All right, so I have mine to be, after minusing my waist, I have mine to be 23, and I added extra 5 inches to it, and I chopped out 28 inches. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So this is 28 inches from here to here. Now I have it to be 28 inches. And for this part, I'm going to be using this lining for it. It's a brighter satin, or you call it a torchette. I intentionally want to use this so that I'm going to have that puffy effect as well. Okay, so if you are working with a thicker fabric, you don't need to go extra miles by buying this. But you know, since this is a crepe, it's kind of soft, it's not thick, so I have to buy the inner one. So I searched for this purple part, but I couldn't find, so I have to go for this navy blue, and I think I'm satisfied since I have navy blue at the part of this fabric. So guys, the next thing to do now is go ahead and lay your strap this way, that the skirt part, do not lay it this way. Then you're going to, when you want to cut your lining part, so if you notice very well, let me show you something right away. So now guys, let's imagine this is our waistline and this is our hemline. So if you notice very well, if I shift this lining to the hemline here, okay, if I shift the lining to the hemline here, okay, I hope you guys can see what I'm trying to say. So now guys, if I shift this lining to the hemline here, you will notice that the lining is not actual, like it's not corresponding to the actual fabric. Like the lining is shorter than the actual fabric. Yeah, I understand, and I'm going to explain how it is like that. So just follow me carefully. Make sure you don't skip any parts so that you're able to understand it very well. So now, remember that when we want to sew our pencil skirts, I told us in our previous video that I left about 3 inches up. I don't want the lining to start showing. Yeah, the same process applicable to this, just some little changes. So then, when you want to sew this down, you're going to shift. Is it that you want to use this for your waist, and you want to use this for your hemline? So I'm going to be using this for my waist. Because I'm going to be using these towards parts for you so that you're going to understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to go ahead and start stitching. But when I want to stitch, I will not stitch in a straight form. Please do not stitch in a straight form. You know, when we want to sew our pencil skirts, we actually stitch in a straight form. But since it is a bubble skirt or a balloon skirt, you don't have to stitch it straight. You start pleating, like a big pleating about 2 inches till you have your hip measurements. Okay, my own hip measurement is 46. Then the pleating I'm going to run from this edge to the M line, like the other end. I must pleat the pleating from this edge to the other end with my hip circumference. Okay, I must split from this edge to that edge with my hip circumference. I must split to my hip circumference, which is 46. So if I don't add up to that 46, which means I have to lose again and replete. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do all over to my sewing machine now. So after that, I'll bring it all over to you guys to see. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to pleat it out. Let me bring it closer to you. Can you see? I've gone ahead to pleat it out. Then the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and check. Maybe I have exact measurement for my hip at this down part. Okay, so after seeing it that this is my exact measurement for my hip, I'm going to turn it this way. As you can see that it's not actually aligned to each other here. Okay, I'm just going to turn it to my right side. Okay, after turning it to your right side, so guys, can you see that it's giving the balloon stuff? Okay, can you see it now? But before then, we are going to go ahead and top stitch our waistline. We are going to go ahead and stitch it down straight in the form of gathers. Okay, I hope you guys understand. You're not going to reverse your machine at all. Just top stitch it straight in form of gathers. Then after stop stitching it, I'm going to like gather it. After gathering it, I'm just going to use my waist measurements to gather this out. Then I'll head over to my sewing machine now to do this. So guys, this is after attaching our gathers, and this is how the M lines look. Can you see? It's already forming this balloon M line, sorry. So guys, next thing for us to do is to leave this aside. Then we are going to work on our half lengths, okay? So for this half lengths that we drafted in our previous video, I've gone ahead to cut it out on my actual lining, and this is it right here. So I want to show us something here. Like I told us earlier, please do want to leave your allowance out. So I left about 1 inch sewing zipper allowance, and I left about 1.5 inches zipper allowance. Then I added, this is also my facing, because I'm going to be using facing for this. So actually I'm not using lining for this. I'm going to be using a facing for this. And I repeated the same thing to the front part as well. So this is the front here as well. I only added my sewing allowance to this, and this is it right here. So the next thing we are going to go ahead and do is to remove the pattern paper out. Then we are going to go ahead and turn our facing with our actual fabric. Okay, so this is our actual fabric right here. Then we are going to go ahead and turn the facing with our actual fabric. Right side facing right side. Then we are going to go ahead and stitch all over. Okay, we are going to go ahead and stitch all over here. Right side facing right side. I'm going to repeat the same process to my back as well. Guys, I'm going to ahead to turn this out with my facing. Now this is it right side. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. Okay, so this is it right here. Please, if you have lights in your area, do well to iron it as well with a low heat, or please do not use a very high heat so that your fabric won't get burned. So then I'm going ahead to do the same process to the back as well. I remember that we left about allowances for our darts earlier, so I just went ahead to take out my dart intake for the back. So the next thing we are going to do now is to attach the underbust to the to attach the front, the corset part to the front, to the down part. So this is how it's going to be right here. No, this is not it. So guys, if you notice, this is how it's going to be. So you're going to just go ahead and arrange it in a proper way. You should know that this pointed part, you should be at this sharp edge as well. So you do it this way. This is how it's going to be. Then we're going to go ahead and stitch down as well. So if you notice something here, you notice something at this part. It's actually left about some inches here. You're going to do it that way because we are going to go ahead and make a little bit gathers here. Okay, so that's how we are going to do now. So I'll head over to my sewing machine now to stitch this down. So as you can see, I'm gonna head to attach the facing for it, and I'm gonna head to join the shoulder and the front together, and this is it right here. So guys, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to flip the back wrong side. Then I'm going to go ahead and shape my bodice out. At this point, I'm going to be attaching my sleeve parts separately. Okay, so if you like, I actually attach it straight forward and you sew it together with the bodice, but I want to attach it separately. Okay, so when I want to attach it now, I'll go ahead and measure the front part. And I'm going to be dividing my bust by 2. So whatever it gets, the remaining one, I'm going to divide it by 2. Then I'm going to split it to this point. Then I'm going to add it here and add it here. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Like, when you give your bust is 34, And when you divide the 4 by 2, you have it to be 17 inches. So if you have 17 inches here, so you measure all the way from here, you measure 17 inches. So you should know that this is your 17 inches. Then you count all the way from 17 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5. So you now divide the 4.5 by 2. So I'm just trying to explain. It's just an illustration. So whatever you get, you have 2/4. Then you take 2/4 on this side. You take 2/4 on this side. Make sure one side is not big, like it's not bigger than one side. If you do that, you later end up like your zipper will not actually sit perfectly on your back. So I'll go ahead to my sewing machine now and stitch this down. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to attach the bodies together, and this is it right here. So the next thing we are going to do now is to attach our skirt part to it. Okay, so we are going to attach our skirt part to it all the way from this hem line, all the way from this gathered side. We are going to attach it to our half length, okay, which is our waistline. So I'm going to be starting all the way from this point, from this edge. I'm going to start pleating it all the way. Okay, so I'll take you all over to my sewing machine now to show us. So guys, to stitch the skirt part to the waistline, I intentionally bring you guys to see how I go about this point because of the wax effect. So guys, I want you to know that when you want to stitch the skirt part to your waistline, you have to leave about 1 inch allowance. Like you have to stitch about 1 inch straight for your zipper allowance, okay, before you start running your gathers. Please do well to leave about 1 inch for your zipper allowance, or whichever one you want to use for your zipper allowance, okay. So then you have to start running your gathers all the way right there, okay. So at some point you can see that I'm using my hand to run the gathers because I realized that some of the gathers I made is not like, I don't actually satisfy with that point, so I have to start using my hand. Okay, so guys, if you have watched the video up to this point, kindly please subscribe, like and share. Encourage me to do more of this, and trust me, so many tutorials, so many vlogs, everything is coming on this channel that is pertaining to fashion. Please, if you have any product into fashion, please kindly check my link to the person. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do right there. I'm trying to run out the gathers right there. Okay, so guys, at some point, if you notice that at that end, you have to notch it, okay? You have to use your you have to notch it with your scissors, because if you do not actually notch it, it will give you one kind of shape when you're done stitching the gathers to the back effect. Make sure you notch the pointed area, okay? Because I actually do well to notch it, okay? Do well to notch the pointed area, so that is going to give you that smooth effect, okay? So that's going to give you that smooth effect. So you're going to just go ahead and run these gathers all over the waistline, okay? Guys, as you can see, I'm gonna need to attach the skirt part to it, and definitely, if you notice it, the front is longer than the back. Reason being that this front has a big back waistline. We extend it by 5 inches. So if you see it, that it's actually longer than it. So that's how it's going to be, okay. And you should know that our back measurement is 14.5 inches. So that is how it's going to be. This will not add any back effect to this. So this will be on a normal straight form, and this will be extended, like the backs will extend the skirt part. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So after you're doing this way, so this is my armhole opening here, but I'm going to be leaving this. I'm going to be attaching my zipper to it first. So I told us earlier that this is the zipper. Like, I'm going to be working with this kind of zipper, okay? So this is what I'm going to be working with. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch my zipper allowance. And remember that we left about 1 inch sewing allowance for the zipper allowance. So I'm going to head over to my sewing machine now to stitch this down. So after stitching this down, I'm going to put this and stitch the other parts down. So next, we are getting close to the end of the video. Then you have to subscribe to the channel. Can you please don't forget to subscribe? Hit on the notification bell so that you'll be the very first person to see my video when I post my video. So guys, I went back to my sewing machine now to stitch this down. So guys, I've gone ahead and attached the zip, and if you notice something, I didn't later use zipper, okay, because when I actually fix my zip on these materials, it's giving me one kind of shape and I don't like it. So that's why I went ahead to stitch it all around. So guys, if you're working with this kind of fabric and you notice that it's stretchy, you can go ahead and iron your paper gum to heat. I will have ironed my paper gum to this part, but since I don't have it available with me, so that is why I close it up for tutorial purpose. But please, if you notice it's giving you one kind of shape and maybe your fabric is kind of stretchy, do well to iron paper gum to the back of the zipper allowance. Then you attach your zip, then you have a very nice one. So then I can even still use this when I'm actually available for when the paper gum is available and put the zipper. But please do not leave it like that when it's giving you one kind of shape. Please do not leave it like that because at later on it won't make your work neat at all. So guys, next thing we are going to do now is to attach our sleeve to this part. Okay, so we're going to be attaching our sleeve to it, and I'm going to cut the sleeve out, just normal basic short sleeve. So if you don't know how to draft out your short sleeve or your long sleeve, I have a tutorial on that. You can be able to check it as well. The sleeve I'm going to be working with just very small sleeve, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold it by 1 inch. Just going to go ahead and fold it by 1 inch. Then I'm going to stitch it down and stitch my allowances that I have. Then I'm going to go ahead. So after stitching it down, just assume that I already stitched this part down. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it to the right side and start. I'm going to place the notch side to this point. Then I'll place it like so. And I'm going to start stitching till this point. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to head over to my sewing machine now to stitch it down. So guys, we are done attaching the sleeve part to the actual gown, and trust me, this gown actually come out nice. So guys, if you find this helpful, kindly please don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and please send this tutorial, send this link to anyone you know is into fashion. So guys, I'll be saying goodbye from here. See you guys in my next one. I love you all. Bye.